Welcome to A Drink of Wisdom with Jay Wise and Nathan Drinkard. I'm your host, Cody Ward. Thanks for spending some of your time with us tonight. What's going on, guys?
Let's talk some sports, baby.
This is
A Drink of Wisdom.
Guys, there's still a good bit of trades, moves, and signs to go in this free agent period. However, a lot of the dust has settled, and we see some really big names in new places with new paydays. With this in mind, let's go ahead and just ask the big question. Which team has had the best offseason so far this year, Jay?
Well, it sure as hell ain't the Houston Texans, I'll tell you that much, when you consider what we just said about losing the likes of DeAndre Hopkins. But, you know, absolutely. Holla at your boy, as he likes to say. But, I'm looking at the Miami Dolphins right now, and I think it's an easy one to say I like what they're doing because they had all types of cap space. And, look, they're throwing money around right there when you consider, all the fire sale they had at the beginning of last year. But I'm looking as you bring in a guy like Byron Jones from the Dallas Cowboys, you sign him to a really big 5 years, $80 million, somewhere in that range, I believe. And you pair him with Xavier Howard, so you got two great cornerbacks that can lock down both sides of the field for you. That's got to feel good if you're Brian Flores. And you also bring in Kyle Van Noy, who Flores worked with in New England. So you got to like that connection. I think Van Noy has proven he's a real versatile player, can play the run and the pass. And you got some depth on the defensive line now with Shaq Lawson and Emmanuel Ogbah. So you're starting to build a core of guys that can get to the quarterback for you. And I'm looking at Jordan Howard. I think this is one that's going to be under the radar. But you get him for about 2 years, $10 million. It was just a couple years ago that he was with Chicago Bears and just, you could just book him for about 1,200 yards a year. Goes over to the Philadelphia Eagles, kind of gets lost in the shuffle from time to time. But he's a guy I still got a lot of faith in that can be very productive. And let's face it, the Miami Dolphins last year, their leading rusher was Ryan Fitzpatrick. So it's safe to say they could use an upgrade in the running game, and they absolutely get that with Jordan Howard. And depending on what they do at the draft, if they're able to get Tua, look, again, we talked about this from time to time. The Dolphins were a team we wondered at the beginning of last season, could they win a single game? And they won 5. They get the quarterback position right. They continue to build on what they got, and they got a lot of draft picks in this draft to get it done. This could be a relatively quick turnaround, and with things we've seen, we see Tom Brady exit New England. Miami could be a team that is to be reckoned with very, very quickly. And I'm also give a little shout out to the Detroit Lions. I think they're doing fairly well. I'm not sure how much of a difference it's going to make up there for them because, don't even get me started with Matt Patricia and that pencil in his ear. But, they really trying to be Patriots Midwest. They took a defender from every level of Bill Belichick's defense. They get the big man, Danny Shelton. They get him in the middle. Jamie Collins had a really good season for New England last year. And then you trade for Deron Harmon, who's been, that third safety for the Patriots for years behind Devin McCourty and Patrick Chung. And I think he's good enough to play a starter's role. And don't forget, they brought over Trey Flowers in free agency last season. So they got some pieces on that defense. And you bring in the big fella Hal Vaitai from the Philadelphia Eagles. You kind of solidify that guard position. You also sign another Patriot, Ted Karras, to also help the interior of that offensive line. So I like what the Lions and Dolphins are doing in free agency. And I'm leaning more to the Dolphins that actually having positive results on the field.
Yeah. I know this might be a little hard to hear, but I'm gonna take my talent zone down to Cleveland. All right. I think Cleveland, that's my winner for right now. And I'm gonna tell you why. If you compare last season to this season, they got Odell Beckham, but they wasn't really in the market for a wide receiver. It was just like a flash move. Oh, we got Odell Beckham. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, yeah, good stuff. But what do we always say? We said something about the coach. We said something about the offensive line. Did we know what the defense is going to do? Now, this year, we got to see the defense is pretty good when it wants to play. When Myles Garrett keep his helmet on or keep will stop taking other people's helmet off and swinging it at him. He's a pretty good player. He's pretty dominant. I thought losing Kurtz in free agency and replacing him with the young gun Mac Wilson, I thought that was good. In the secondary, Greedy Williams and those guys. Long story short, I think that defense can carry the day if you allow them not to fall behind because of the offense. Why do I say offense? Oh, look at, what do you know? Offense. Let's talk about a little offense. One of the big things with the Cleveland Browns was what? That offensive line, like I said. Where you go out and you get Jack Conklin. Big win over Tennessee. Tennessee really wanted him back. I was very surprised when I seen that he signed with Cleveland, knowing that Tennessee wanted him. They got him. So, hey, boom, your right guard looking good. Your left guard is...
They wanted Ryan Tannehill more. You know that. They wanted Ryan Tannehill more.
No. I'll be fair to them this. They had three guys that they had to wrap up, right? Tannehill, Henry, and Conklin. They franchised Henry so they can pay Tannehill and Conklin. But it just, the Browns came with more money. That's just all it was to it. I thought what they were offered Conklin, and being that he was from that system, he would have been like, all right, cool. Good money. I'm not mad. But yeah, Cleveland came in and said, let me talk to you about the salary cap, baby. And they came in and they swooped them up. And then let's talk about the tight end position. David Njoku wasn't a bad tight end, but maybe you just felt like you didn't get enough. So you seen that the hot and up and comer, Austin Hooper coming out of the Falcons that played at a Pro Bowl level last year. If you take the injuries out of the consideration, you see him on the market. You see what he's asking for. You go and swoop up the tight end. So now you got your right tackle locked up. You got a tight end locked up. Oh, by the way, hey, Baker Mayfield, you want to come to the game with 3 different mustaches? We got something for you, baby. Hey, my name is Kevin Stefanski, and I'm here to be the head coach. And I ain't Freddie Kitchens, buddy. So if you come out here with that bull crap, I got something for you. I'll put Case Keenum in, and we'll keep it rolling. So then you go out and you get Case Keenum as a backup to let Baker Mayfield know this ain't the same Cleveland Brown sideshow that you and your buddy's been doing. We going a new direction, and we coming to play. And then you got the guy, Andy, let me make sure I say this right. Andy Van Bouncy?
Janovich.
Anyway, there we go, Janovich. I couldn't get it out. You got the fullback. Now, let's be honest here. As you could tell by me reading his name, when he came in the mix, I'm like, what we doing here? Okay, we went out and got a fullback. Okay, I guess that means we're gonna run the ball heavy, which you can with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. So I'm not mad at that. And like we talked about before the show, that should relax Baker Mayfield where he has one mustache and he get that ball out to his weapons now. Now you got wide receivers, you got tight ends. I understand it's one ball and many guys asking for it, but I look at it like this. When you throw the ball to this certain receiver, if it's Odell Beckham, let's say, and you throw a good ball and Odell Beckham catch it for 50 yards, I think Odell Beckham is less to be mad if you throw him a bomb and he gets to catch it. I think Jarvis Landry is less to be mad if you throw him a good, nice slant and he can take it. So I think that calms down some of the confusion, some of the disorientation of the team when you're actually throwing them the catchable balls that they can catch and do something with. Then you don't get so mad about targets because you're making the most out of your target. It's when you don't make the most out of your targets where your wide receivers really act like divas. You remember Antonio Brown? He was happy when he was making the most out of his targets. But when those targets wasn't getting to him, hey, Big Ben, you're a bum. You suck. Boom, 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 boom. And we seen what happened from there to now. So that's why I say the Browns, to me, they answer questions that we had after last year with the pickup of the tight end, because we don't – and Njoku, I think he's still dead from that hit when Baker Mayfield left him on the main line. You know what I mean? So, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all was here dead by there. And I think he's still out there somewhere with flies all over him. And then you got Jack Conklin next to the walking on concussion protocol. And then you got Jack Conklin. You bringing him in to protect Baker Mayfield on the other side. So, listen, and I cannot overstate the addition of Case Keenum. Let me tell you something, because I love this. Why? Case Keenum is a journeyman. Yes, he is. But Case Keenum also wins games. So that lets Baker Mayfield know, I come out here and start flopping around, not getting it done, doing more in the interviews than I'm doing in the games, I'm done. Case they hook pull, Case Keenum go ahead and get up in there. You got some targets. We seen what you did with Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs, so you should be able to get something done here. Hey, and then make it happen, brother. Go ahead and do what you gotta do. So I take the Browns, right, as my number one team. And I think as number two, I'm gonna go ahead and go to the cold, briskly city of Buffalo. Listen, I've been on record talking about the Bills, and this is what I say about the Bills. Hey, they ain't a free agent heaven, all right? Like, you just don't got guys lining up to go to Buffalo. However, may I say it might be a little changing of thinking here. They seem like they had a pretty decent free agency. I mean, listen, whatever you want to say, they got some guys up there. I'm not mad at all these guys. You traded for Stephon Diggs, was absolutely, I'm glad you did that. You gave up a lot, but I think you now give Josh Allen a reason not to be so bad. Now, if he's still bad, that is what it is. But at least you give him a solidified number one guy to throw the ball to. So if he's in trouble, instead of laterally it to the referee like he's a part of the doggone team, now he can actually try to get the ball to Diggs and make something happen. You got other guys, Mario Addison, AJ Klein. Those are two guys that should make the defense, if not better. They would give you a good a deeper rotation for your defense. But let's be real, we know the Buffalo Bills made their calling card on defense, so it wasn't like they needed tons of defensive players. I'm not mad at that. You got Josh Norman on a premium. You didn't pay him much. They give you somebody on the other side of Tre'Davious White that can probably get something done as far as that cornerback duo over there. So I'm not mad at that. But in all, I say the Browns was my one and the Bills was my two.
Yeah, and just to jump in on the Bills, there's a whole lot of familiarity between Addison, Klein, Vernon Butler, and Josh Norman. They all played for Sean McDermott in Carolina, so there's a lot of familiarity there, and that defense should be raring to go come whenever the season gets underway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were. Yeah, so the Bills were the team I was thinking to me had the best one. And part of it too, you have to think about the doors open. This is the first time in forever, man. Like, you don't have the shadow, the monolith in the sky of Brady and whatnot in New England. You got your chance now. The door's open, and you go out and get a guy in Stephon Diggs who, in a position that y'all have not been good at. I mean, the Bills have tried to get help in the wide receiver position, and it hasn't worked out. They got a couple dudes running around, but man, I mean, for the most part, like Cole Beasley, really? Come on now. So Stephon Diggs is a guy that could truly be a number one wide receiver, and that is something Josh Allen hasn't had, and he's been improving. I'm still not sold on him, and yeah, obviously our laterals and our decision making need to improve, but the arrow is up. That he made substantial improvements, especially in his completion percentage. That's hard to do. Not a lot of guys do that. So, you got a guy, you got your quarterback that's getting better. Your door's open to go out and get Stephon Diggs. And then even though they lost Shaq Lawson, they go out and get all these other guys to kind of come in and kind of smooth it over. Mario Addison's a nice player, and some of these other dudes. And then Josh Norman, and a lot of people are clowning it. They're going, oh, well, Josh Norman, he's trash now. Yeah, definitely his best days are behind him. But let's not forget that one of the Bills' strengths on defense is that secondary. You got guys like Poyer, Tre'Davious White, Micah Hyde. He doesn't have to be all that good. He just got to be all right. A lot of teams have taken guys like him that kind of haven't worked out and put him in like the nickel position. He can maybe do that. Who knows? But yeah, I like them a lot. And then I got to give a shout out, of course, to the Buccaneers. You made a franchise-altering decision that could result in a Super Bowl. You always got to pat a team on the back that does that, even though it's kind of a no-brainer. I mean, that to go out and actually get, no kidding, Tom Brady in the flesh. Hey, come on, that's pretty cool. Who'd y'all think, as far as your losers go? What do you have, Jay, for teams you're kind of disappointed in?
And just one more point before I get to that. Also on the Bills, you talk about the wide receivers for the Bills last season, and they leave a little bit to be desired. But now you look at these guys, when you put Stephon Diggs in as your number one, it looks a lot better when you got John Brown as your 2 and Cole Beasley as your 3. It makes a whole lot more sense. So, and I look at this almost as kind of when the Dallas Cowboys got Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper. We got you a number one. Show us something. Josh Allen, you talk about making improvements, and the arrow does appear to be trending up. But now, hey, you got to show us another step, and especially with the division appearing to be a little bit more open, with the Patriots having, questions at quarterback. We got your number one receiver. Show us something. And when the lights get brightest, don't spaz out and think the ref's on the team, because he's not. But as far as the loser in free agency, I'm looking at the Chicago Bears right now. I really, really am. And I understand. You bring in Nick Foles. You're trying to generate, some quarterback competition. You're trying to push Mitch Trubisky, get the best out of him. We do realize that Nick Foles has never done anything outside of Philadelphia. I think we have enough for sample size with the Rams and with the Jaguars now that, you know what, maybe Nick Foles there's only one city that he belongs to, and maybe we'll see him in Philadelphia again at some point. He can go right back to Philadelphia, hold the clipboard for Carson Wentz, and maybe, we never know. Carson Wentz he dislocate a pinky or something. Hey, Nick, get on in there and help us out for, a quarter or a game. But then I'm also looking at some of these acquisitions. I'm looking at a guy in Robert Quinn. You sign him to 5 years, $70 million. That's a lot of money, especially when you consider you got Khalil Mack on the other side. And Khalil Mack, we talked about it. The numbers weren't all that impressive compared to his contract and compared to what he's done in years past. I'm looking on that defense now. If Robert Quinn and Khalil Mack don't get me 20 sacks between them at minimum, you're not getting your money's worth. And then Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Graham's just a name at this point. I mean, we got to be honest about this. Jimmy Graham has not been worth much at all since he left New Orleans.
Expensive name at this point.
Expensive name. And, part of that could be just the tight end market. It's just not all that impressive. And the draft crop coming up in the upcoming draft, there's not a whole lot that you like as opposed to last year. I don't think Iowa's giving us 2 tight ends this season. Shout out to your boy Kirk Ferentz. But as far as a loser, I'm not sold on Chicago Bears and what they're doing. I think Ryan Pace. We talk about Bill O'Brien. At least he's got the excuse that he's out there doing 2 jobs. Ryan Pace has 1 job, and he's not that good at it, to be honest with you.
Listen, let me. God. Oh, what are we doing, Bengals? What are we doing? What are we doing? Your marquee guy is DJ Reader. The guy I forgot he was even on the Houston defense for all those years. Like, literally, Jay had to remind me he was even on that defense. This is the point he brought up to me. He said, "When did you last time you watched that defense and you was like, the guy to watch is DJ Reader or Sunday Night Football? The key player for that vaunted Houston Texan DJ Reader, Monday Night Football." Was McFarland, did he ever say, "Well, you got to think, DJ Reader is a defensive tackle, so he tackled"? Like, listen, that was your big pick. Trey Waynes. We should call him Young Toast for all the times he got burnt when he was with Minnesota. That dude was the side item to your very favorite breakfast dish, the toast. Like, and I ain't talking with butter, folks, just plain toast. I understand you're going to get Joe Burrow. I got that. Sign, seal, and deliver. This is what you do in the free agent when you got money to spend. By the way, you franchise tag AJ Green. Listen, if it wasn't for the fact that I put in my application over there at over at Houston, hey Cincinnati, I would give you a call. But I hear we might move a team to Canada, and all y'all working on it. You guys are working on your application to go to Canada. We need 1 in Mexico, 1 in Canada, and Cody know who's going over to London. There's neither here nor there. This is ridiculous. They signed 2 players that ain't worth 2 nickels to rub together. They're just not. Then you don't even give AJ Green the contract he's asking for. What? I don't even understand what y'all did in free agency. If I'm wrong, Somebody hit me up, tell me, hey, Drink, I don't agree with you. We had a phenomenal offseason, and hit me with the facts. You can do it on YouTube, do it on Facebook, do it on Twitter. Hell, you can even find it on Anchor and try to hit me. I don't give a rip what you do. Just count it. I need somebody to convince me that the Bengals actually did something other than sleep through free agency. Because it sure look like old sleepathon from where I'm looking at. So I'm going with the Bengals. They didn't do nothing. They sorry.
I just want to echo what you said about the Bengals. I think one of the criticism we get with the Bengals is they're never like really aggressive in free agency. That they seem to be a franchise that, they play things on the cheaper side. And now they come out and they spend some money, and this is what they give you. They give you, a defensive lineman who I'm guessing is more known for stopping the run, because I don't see him in the backfield getting a whole lot of sacks. And then Trey Waynes, I guess they didn't watch the Vikings last year, because Trey Waynes and Xavier Rhodes, neither of them were very good. But now you pay Trey Waynes money to where he's making about, I believe he's sixth highest among cornerbacks now per year after this contract. And AJ Green, we've lamented the situation with AJ Green for months now. It's a travesty what's been done with him. He shouldn't be playing. They should have either paid him a real contract or let him get out of there. It's a shame what's been done to him.
Yeah, it's really tragic. And the final thing I put on the Bengals, not only did they sign these two dudes, they spent almost $100 million on Trey Waynes and DJ Reader. That's bad. Yep. I mean, I don't hate the signings if it was for the right price, but that ain't the right price. So, hey, Joe Burrow, you got DJ Reader. Way to go, man. Good luck. We have a very angry AJ Green over there. Just don't get too close. He might bite you. So besides the Bengals, the other team I'll just throw out there is the Jets. Have they done anything? We got Connor McGovern and George Fant. That's cool. I probably should know who those dudes are, but I don't. I mean, in a division where the Dolphins have gotten so much better in a very short period of time, and a division where the Bills, like we just talked about, has gotten a lot better. And when the door has never been more open, because, like, again, the Patriots are no longer thought of as a team that's just going to, stomp everybody. That's what you give us. I mean, poor Sam Darnold, man. What is he supposed to do?
Absolutely. I feel, and I understand you're trying to buffer your offensive line to help your young quarterback. But doesn't it feel like every season we talk about the New York Jets? Hey, can you get this man a receiver? Like, and on top of it all, Robbie Anderson is an unrestricted free agent. He hasn't signed yet, but someone's going to sign him. I guess the Jets don't have any interest. They think, hey, no, we good, man. No, you're not good. Get a wide receiver for this dude. I mean, my God, Baker Mayfield over there just swimming in weapons. They got everybody. And Sam Darnold can't get him anything. I guess Le'Veon Bell will do it. Oh wait, he didn't do it last year. Adam Gase, he can't figure it out.